Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And this is our top 40
Of all time.
of all time.
All time.
Since the Paleolithic era.
Yeah.
Since the Aztecs. This is the best games ever made.
Since then.
Since then. Kind of.
But yeah.
But in our opinion. In our opinion. So Matt, this is the games that mean the most to us.
Yes.
Ones that we think are the best or the most fun.
Exactly. So me and Wayne came out with our own separate list that we're gonna discuss in the starting from this. This is the first of 4 episodes, so stay tuned for the next ones. Or if they're already out, go and check.
Go check
the
those
one
afterwards.
After.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are the games that we had more fun with, that we loved the most. It doesn't mean that some of the games are better than the others, or the ones that are not on this list are trash. It's simply that these are the ones that we love the most.
Absolutely. Me and Matt have played tons of games, and that's it. We're not professional board gamers.
No.
We don't do this for a
Can you
living.
be a professional board gamer?
Yeah,
Yes.
check out the Dice Tower. That's what they do.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But our list will change a lot, and that's because we're just dudes that like having fun playing games.
Exactly.
And that's our main consideration.
Exactly. So, if you want to know when the next episode comes out, well, hit the subscribe button.
Do that. Hit the subscribe button and check out the rest of the top 40 as it releases. But first and foremost, Matt, from number 40 to 31, let's dive in.
I think we should go.
Let's go.
Rolling dice, feeling nice. Cardboard dreams and game schemes. Click subscribe, it's a vibe. Board Stupid's all we need. Board Stupid, game reviews for you and me. Board Stupid, here's what you should play and see.
Let's start with number 40. Wayne, you are the first.
I'm
What
first.
is your number 40? 40.
4-0. My number 40, Matt, is an Uwe Rosenberg classic, and it's Patchwork.
Oh,
Yes, I know that's one of your favourite. I expect to see this on your list somewhere, but I love Patchwork, and more specifically, I love. I had a really great experience with it. I took it away on holiday with me.
Okay,
with my
yeah.
partner. We played tons of Patchwork,
Yeah.
and I got my ass beat.
That's how Patchwork works.
That's how you get your partner beat
Your
your
partner
ass.
always win. I played 100 games, that never won, basically.
And I love it. And Patchwork, if you don't know, is a wonderful, beautiful tile-laying game for 2 players using polyominoes and in a wonderful system where you are basically drafting them around a giant circle of polyomino pieces and uses a really great economy, which is like a button system. So you've got to spend buttons to get your quilt pieces to add to your quilt, and then your quilt will eventually get you some income. It's just a fantastic game which is basically a perfect tile placement game. It doesn't need to do any more than it does, and it does it perfectly.
Yeah, I love it. It's a classic. It's a game that always work, and it will always work even with the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah, it's a great game, this Patchwork. Matt, that was my number 40, but what about you?
My number 40, we're going to start from a very small to a lot of boxes and a lot of minis. My number 40 is Marvel Zombies, the Zombicide game.
That's literally the other side.
Yeah, completely opposite. Zombicide is I will tell you why. I do love the Zombicide games.
Yeah.
So the Black Plague
series,
has been one of my favorite one, but I'm a big fan of the Marvel Zombies comics. So
cool.
that was I really love it. And when they came out, I was like, yeah, match made in heaven. We're talking about a cooperative game, scenario based, where you basically are the zombie. So in this dystopian future, all the heroes, some of the heroes have been bitten by zombies. They became sentient zombies, so they keep their powers, but they are zombies, so they want to hit everything. So you basically are gonna go against the agents of shields, and depending on scenarios, you will have to do this or that. But it's basically like in all the other Zombicide, you're trying to do the crisis management and zombie management in terms of like not being overwhelmed by the zombie hordes, and you have Each scenario will have its own mission. I really love this one for two reasons. First of all, the theme, and secondly, because you can play with one of the expansion. You can play with the heroes and not the zombie heroes. So
nice.
against the zombie heroes. If you love the comics, if you love the Zombicide series, if you've already played, it's a must-have. I really love it.
All right, on to 39. So Matt, give us your 39.
39, 1 versus 1 card game. I'm talking about Air, Land, and Sea. From Arcade Wonders.
Nice.
So you play again one versus the other. You're trying to have a area majority using your cards divided into 3 battlefields. So you have the sea, the land, and the air. It's kind of like a war game, but with this very interesting mechanics where each cards will have a different amount on their card. The number to go from 1 to 7, I think, if I remember right. But the fact is that you will know what the other person has in their hands, because it's a closed drafting, so the cards are always the same. And it's a highly strategic, and it's really, really interesting. Every time you play, it's a different game, and for a game that is done with just a bunch of cards, it's absolutely fantastic, I think.
Amazing. That's not the game that I thought you were going to say when you said 1 versus 1 card battle.
Maybe,
I think that might be
later,
one a bit later on.
Later.
Absolutely.
Your number 39. Let's
My
go.
number 39 is what I think is the perfect Christmas family game, and it's Just One.
Oh, Just One, of
Just
course.
One is an amazing game. We played it at New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
as a
we
matter of
did.
fact.
We
That's
did. And
absolutely
we had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun with it, even with people that have never played Just One before, which I think Faye never played Just One before.
Yeah, probably.
I actually
Yeah,
really
might
enjoyed
be,
it as
yeah.
well. Everyone likes it. It's such a cool game. You can play it with literally anybody.
Yes.
It'll play 8 people, but you can play more. Just bring, give them post-it notes
Yes,
and pens.
it's all right.
As
Yeah.
many as you like, really. And it's just so much fun. It's so simple. You are trying to it's a word guessing game.
Yes.
Someone is trying to be the guesser and everyone else is trying to get them to guess a specific word, with the conceit being that they need to write a word to do with that word on their easel, but before they show it to the person that's guessing, they show it to each other, and anyone that's written the same word deletes their words. They're gone.
Exactly, yes.
It's such a cool concept, and it's one of those eternal concepts that you think, how did this never get invented before?
Yeah, it's so clever and so simple that, again, you can play with grandpa and grandma and still have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So the trying to find out what word is similar to that word without being too
obvious. Yeah.
It's always really fun, and again, a great party game.
It is really, really cool. So with that said, on to number 38.
Wayne, number 38.
My number 38, Matt, is a card game, and it is a trick-taking card
Okay.
game. So this
Maybe
could
I
be
know.
any number. Maybe you know it. It's a cooperative trick-taking
Yeah,
card
I
game.
think I know it.
Yeah, it is The Crew.
Okay.
It is The Crew. So The Crew is a fantastic game released by Cosmos.
Yep.
It is it basically was part of the renaissance and new boom in trick-taking card games,
Yep.
and it innovated the idea of doing it in a cooperative way. And we've seen other games do that now, like Sail, for example.
Yeah, it's
Another
set
game,
up kind of like the scene for more
Yeah.
trick-taking games.
Yeah, it's set the Sail and Fox and Forest Duet. It's a more cooperative trick-taking, which as a concept is amazing. And it's so fantastic, Matt. And it's one of those games that gives you a really great sense of when you achieve it, that's right.
When you do it, yeah, absolutely.
You might get frustrated for the first few times when you fail, but when you finally get it right and you finally complete the scenario, it is absolutely fantastic. The game gives you a bunch of scenarios in the book,
Yep.
and you can play through them if you like, or you can just pick a scenario and play it. And it's absolutely superb. It's a brilliant game. There is a new version of the Crew as well, which is Deep Sea.
Yeah, so
something like that.
the one you're talking about is
Quest for Planet Nine.
the Quest for Planet 9.
But
It's
the Deep
been
Sea
out.
one
Yeah.
is also great.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I want to add is not just for a lot of players. You can play the games with 2 players, when one of the captain, one of the 2 players will control the robot, the AI. So it's very, very good. It's even a little bit even more challenging playing two players. I played a lot 2 players and I love it.
That's great. Cool. What about you, Matt?
My 38 is probably going to be on your list way higher.
We'll see.
But we're talking about Simon.
Okay.
We're talking about Mr. Lang.
Okay.
We're talking about Blood Rage.
I guessed it.
Blood Rage, area majority in a very aggro way.
Yeah. Area majority and drafting.
Where you doing your drafting at the start to get your cards that will help you in battle or give you quests and stuff like that, and then you trying to move your troops and you spending your rage points to add in more troop on the map, and then basically fighting everyone around with this very amazing. The things I love the most is the one where the people near, if you want to play pillage a village. The other players that are neighbor to you can move in your position and try and stop in doing it.
I love that. Yeah.
And then your hand management, where you need to play the right card at the right time to give you bonuses in the fight. And then the most amazing things is that every round the Ragnarok happens and the map
the whole thing gets smaller
and smaller with more and more troops on the battlefield. That means that you need to fight left and right every turn, and I really enjoyed it.
Great.
It's area majority to its finest bloody
core. That's a great pick, man. I love Blood Rage, and who knows, we might talk about it later.
Maybe next one.
Matt, number 37, what you got?
For number 37, we got a lot of dice chucking, and we're talking about Dice Throne. Dice Throne, the asymmetric 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2, or there is an expansion where you can play cooperative. But basically what you're doing, you're playing with your character with a lot of dice, and you're basically trying to play Yahtzee, but performing moves with your dice. Every time that you roll, you're gonna allocate those dice to set specific moves that your character can do, and each character will be different between each other. For example, you will have the monk or the necromancer, the vampire, and there is now a couple of editions ago was the Marvel one where you got Thor and you got Spider-Man. Now the new one is got all the X-Men that just arrived. Is upstairs actually to crack it open. But it's just a lot of fun, and you're just rolling dice. A little bit of hand management where you can use your cards to manipulate your dice and augmenting your moves. I have every time a lot of fun. Now there is an actual world championship of Dice Throne. I definitely cannot play because I'm not that good at rolling dice, but it's mega
Have you tried?
fun.
Have you tried rolling dice better, Matt?
I did try every time.
Doesn't work.
Never work. Wayne, what about
That's a
you?
great game. My number 37 is a Matt Leacock cooperative game. No, not that one. It's Daybreak.
Okay.
Daybreak is absolutely amazing, and when I played it for the first time, it blew my mind for a number of reasons. Not only is the gameplay brilliant, it uses this sort of simultaneous gameplay where you're playing cards into different rows in your tableau, and then you can give cards to other people and they can give cards to you to kind of help them out to try and solve a problem. And what is the problem? Well, it's the world ending through pollution and humanity just being douchebags.
Yeah, trying to save the world.
Trying to save, and it's the message of the game is so tremendously hopeful because you are basically playing nations and big regions. You've got the United States, you've got like China, you've got Europe, and you are trying to work together. In fact, the only way you win is through working together to try and eliminate like all of your carbon emissions. And trying to get carbon net positivity, right? Trying to make a good impact, a handprint on the environment. And it is such an amazing game. It's such a great feeling game. It's not even that difficult in terms of challenging cooperative games, but it's challenging enough to be interesting while also having a fantastic message with a beautiful production. And I think it's one of Matt Leacock's best designs. And it was a Kenner Spiel winner.
It's brand new because it came out, 2023. Yes, and it's kind of like in that new good trend of gaming, trying to speak a little bit more about environment and trying
sustainable production as well.
To have a sustainable production. Exactly, that's what I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
So, great pick.
On to 36.
Next one, 36, Wayne. What you got for us?
I'm not a criminal. At least not that you'll know.
Maybe.
But maybe you ain't gonna know. But I like playing games about crime, and specifically, I like playing games about robbing banks and trying to run away.
I maybe know which one you're talking about.
It's Escape Plan.
Oh,
Escape Plan.
yes.
This is the spoilers only Vital Lacerda game on my list because it's one of the lightest ones. The rest of this game's terrifying me. But it's a fantastic game. I love Escape Plan. It's super cool. It has an amazing theme. This kind of like Ocean's 11 type theme. But imagine like that, but actually at the end of the heist you hate everybody and it's all gone wrong and you need to get your money and get out before anyone else. It's brilliant because it has this great tension arc to the game where you're going around the map of the city, this blueprint map view, which looks amazing, by the way. Ian O'Toole artwork.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Trying to collect your money, remembering where it's been hidden, and you've got a little card which tells you where it is. And then there is a point at the end of the game where you find out where the exit of the city is that hasn't been blocked by police. And you can either go get more money, but if someone leaves, suddenly it becomes harder for you to leave.
Yes, because
and you've got to bribe people, you've got to spend more to get out. It's a fantastic game with a great sense of tension. I love it. I think it's fantastic.
It's a pretty good, cool game, especially as you say, the tension at the end when someone's escaped and you need to escape as well, because if you don't manage to escape, you lose everything. So you're basically out of the game. It's pretty cool because you can do a few mean things to the other player as well, trying to block their way out.
Very interactive.
Absolutely, love it.
How about you, Matt?
We go to the Old Wild West with Western Legends. Western Legend sandbox game set up in the Old Wild West, where you are either a bandit or a cowboy. You can be a little bit,
or you can be a marshal,
whatever you want. Exactly. Being a sandbox, you can do whatever you want. So you can go and play poker and just like looking at girls dancing,
and that's it.
Or you can have your kettles, or you can go rob a bank, or mine into the gold mine.
Or rob a trade, or rob other players, or just have a duel.
Yeah, or do all of these things in the same game.
Yeah,
it's a very, very good game. Sandbox are always difficult to actually pull out, like because sometimes it's just like it's too much and you don't. Well, this one is it's really good. The team is perfect, and the things I love the most is the end management system that you got.
The card system's amazing
because everything is on, of course, or West on poker cards. So all your action cards and things is going to give you bonuses and whatever is going to be on poker cards, and you're going to use the same poker cards or playing pokers actually in the game, in the poker, in the poker house, and you're going to use it for battling with dueling with the other players. You can use it then to go around and
do special actions and stuff.
Special action, and of course then you can go buy more guns. You can go buy a horse to move faster. It's one of those sandboxy that I fell in love the first time that we played, and with some like nice Old Wild West music in the background, you really feel into the game, and I love it.
It's a brilliant pick, Matt. Yeah, let's dive into the next one. Matt, what have you got for number 35?
35 is a brand new game that went straight up into my
new to the list.
Yes, and we're talking about Kelp Shark versus Octopus.
Wow, what a game!
1 versus 1 asymmetric, when one player is the octopus and trying to escape from the evil shark that is trying to eat the octopus, because that's what happens.
Is it evil or is it nature?
Well, it's nature. It's nature. So the beauty of these things, beside the production, is something fantastic.
Top tier.
The artwork even better.
Brilliant.
But the fact that the two players are very asymmetric. So you got the octopus that is trying to play with the tiles on the board and hiding behind one of those tiles and moving the tiles around, so the sharks get confused. And you got your hand management and deck building for the octopus, while the shark, it tries to become more powerful, to get faster and trying to understand what the octopus is, with a dice, with a back building. So you put a lot of dice in your building and then you need to pick out and roll and trying to understand what action you can do. Heavily strategic.
Yeah.
And absolutely one of that I love the most this year.
Yeah.
And what about you, Wayne? What's next one for you?
35 is the smallest Spiel des Jahres winner, and will always be the smallest Spiel des Jahres winner.
I know which one it is, of course.
It's Hanabi.
Oh,
Hanabi, right.
I thought another one. But...
No. There is no. The smallest Spiel des Jahres winner
fair enough.
is Hanabi. Hanabi is amazing. I love that game. It's another cooperative game by Antoine Bowser, the genius behind Seven Wonders, and it is superb. This is another one of those eternal designs where you think to yourself, why did nobody think of this 30, 40, 50 years ago?
Because it's so simple,
Yeah, where you just get cards, you got a hand of cards, but you don't look at them, you turn them around so everyone else can see them, and you can give each other sort of limited clues. It's one of those games in the limited information genre, that sort of restricted information genre, which I really love, that sort of trying to do the most with small amounts of communication, almost trying to like mind read.
Yeah, it is. It is.
A brilliant game. I love it. It's so good. If you've never played Hanabi, I mean, you should, because it's like £10.
Yeah.
I think it's an essential in everyone's collection.
It is, and it's always fun to play. It's one of those where you think you really know another person, and you think you can give very good clues.
No. And trust me, you'll adjust the cards in your hand, thinking, I'm sure someone told me that was a 3, and it won't be the 3, and you'll forget what was what. It's great.
It's really good. It's a difficult game to achieve, like the 5 out of 5, let's call it. But it's one of those that when you actually manage to do it, it's going to be a great day.
It's amazing. Yeah, Hanabi is legendary.
Number 34, Wayne. Go.
I'm staying with the Spiel des Jahres winners.
Okay.
And it's the most recent Spiel des Jahres winner.
Okay.
And it's a 2-player game, and it's Sky Team. Sky Team is a fantastic game. It is only a year and a bit old, but it's so good. And when I played it for the first time with you, Matt, it blew my socks off with how clever it is. And again, I kind of really like limited communication games, as we've already seen with Just One on my list and with Hanabi on my list and now with Sky Team. Sky Team succeeds through the lack of communication with your partner. That's what makes it great. This is a game that gives you bowlfuls of tension as you're trying to land a plane through like bad weather, through the fuel running out, through like some interns doing a crappy job in the back of the plane, through like other planes getting in your way, and all the while you're like, man, I wish my co-pilot would do something about these other planes. And also, you know, the plane's like off to the side like this, it needs to level up. It's just an amazing game that gives you too many things to worry about, but in a really great way.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Probably we'll talk about it later.
We might talk about it later. No spoilers. Matt, what about you?
My next one, again, a lot of minis.
Okay.
We're talking about a campaign game, Fantasy Flight Descent, second edition.
Okay.
It's a semi-cooperative game. Is 1 versus all, where one player plays the baddies and manage all the enemies on the board, and all the other players play cooperatively. It's the game that almost reintroduced me back in the days into the heavier games, the heavier board gaming stuff, and I played the entire campaign and I loved it. It's a little bit fiddly, it's a little bit probably now a little bit dated, but again, this list is about the games that I had more fun with.
So who cares?
If you haven't played it and you want to have something that is a little bit more dated, but not even that much nowadays, it's a very good 1 versus all dungeon crawler. Simple as that. Very cool story, and you really get dragged into. I loved it.
So, Matt, for number 33, what have you got?
Number 33 is Everdell.
Oh, what a great game.
One of the fantastic artwork.
Beautiful artwork. Great production.
Fantastic production with the tree coming out of the board. It's very, very cool. And I really love it. The very simple worker placement and the tableau building with this open market and all the thing that you're trying to achieve throughout the worker placement to get the resources to buy the cards and then to build the most amazing combos on your limited tableau. So because the tableau is up to 18 cards.
Yeah, you've got a very limited tableau.
So you need to build the best scoring machine, building the tableau in all of this in very cute arts and
beautiful art,
very nice,
great pieces.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great interaction in that game as well. You can use other people's spots as well. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and the fact that the game is divided in 3 eras, they're actually the season.
Be in different seasons at different times.
Exactly. So
cool.
depending on how many action you still left, you might be very behind, but doesn't mean that you're behind in the game. You just can still catch up. Every time we play, I find it very interesting on how you build that tableau, then trying to make the scoring at the end as high as possible. Absolutely, very, very love it.
Everdell is a great game, mate. Another great game.
Yeah, go on.
Is Azul.
Oh yes.
I haven't stopped picking Swedish Orange winners. I just realised. It's not. I've got a thing, but they are great games. And this is another great game.
Yeah.
This is another game that you can play with almost anybody. I remember when I first played this game years ago now, 2018, I want to say. Might have been maybe even earlier.
Probably earlier than that.
I felt I had this flash forward to the future, like 30 years, like old Portuguese dudes having a coffee outside in the sun, playing that instead of chess. You know, you got those guys that play chess on the outside on the stones, like playing Azul. It's that kind of game. You can imagine, like people playing forever. It's spawned a bunch of different versions. It has such a classical feel. It's Michael Kiesling doing beautiful things. I love Azul. I think it's a great game still. It still holds up. It doesn't get old for me.
It is. I would say the original one of all the iteration is still my favorite. But we'll see with the dual version, because you can play Azul in 2-player absolutely fine. I played probably mostly I played 2-player with Azul, but the Azul dual seems to do something different. But we'll talk about it maybe in another video. Okay, we are almost at the end for this first block. So let's go with number 32, Wayne.
My number 32 is a semi-cooperative game, possibly one of my favourite ones, and it was, for me, the Battlestar Galactica killer version, which is Unfathomable.
Okay.
Unfathomable is fantastic if you ever liked the BSG board game, but if you weren't really fussed about the theme, and if you wanted something more streamlined, I think probably better.
And that you can actually buy.
You actually buy it, with a really cool production. Unfathomable by Fantasy Flight is fantastic. Cool. It has all the same things. You're doing skill checks by contributing cards in secret, and then obviously you've got creepy Cthulhu people that are contributing cards to make the check fail, and if it fails, then bad things happen. The ship will run out of fuel, or people will die, or there'll be panic.
Monsters come out,
all of that sort of stuff. But it's such a great game, and the atmosphere that the game creates is brilliant. It gives you constant stress and tension. You're trying to get the ship across the Atlantic, but obviously some of you are creepy Cthulhu fish people who are trying to kill everybody else and summon, the great monsters of the deep. It is a brilliant, brilliant game. I love Unfathomable. I never get to play it enough, but it's a great semi-co-op game.
It is, and again, I would prefer the Battlestar Galactica just because I prefer the team, but at the same time,
game, really.
I can't say that it's a bad. It's not even the same game because they made it way more simpler.
They just changed the rules to make it clearer,
making it a little bit more streamlined. But yeah, absolutely great pick. Yeah, we should play.
Cool. Matt, what about you?
Another area majority, because that's probably...
You like
I've done my top 40, it's a lot of them. We're going for something a little bit more classic, and I'm talking about Inis.
Inis, okay, nice.
So again, area majority, drafting, so you're gonna draft the cards that you're gonna use to do your quests, scoring points, and getting more bonuses or action and everything. I love that part of the game where you basically take one card and pass the rest to the other. So you know what you're giving around, you know what other people might have picked when the deck comes back to you to pick up your next card. And the cards are always the same every round. So there is a very, very interesting interaction we're doing that. And at the same time, the area majority and how you move troops and how you do is, I find it very, very slick, and that's why it's one of a classic area majority.
It's great, it's a great game, and it's one of those games that gives you 3 different ways to win, right? So you're always constantly on the lookout for how people are playing to make sure that they're not triggering one of those 3 win conditions.
Exactly, yeah.
And you might be triggering one, this guy might be triggering one, I might be triggering, and then like, okay, who can get there first? It's a fantastic game, mate, and I think you have now settled the debate of which one's better, Inish or Blood Rage, because this one's higher.
Yes, to me, I prefer Inish just because Blood Rage. I do understand that sometimes you don't want a game that is too aggro. That is fight.
Inish is more polite, slightly more polite.
Inish is more slightly more political. It's more like
correct.
You got more that kind of interaction rather than I come there and beat you. You can be more like, if I don't come there, you stay in your corner. I'm staying in mine.
If I come here, let's agree to not fight.
Yeah, exactly. So I love that part of the game as well. So again, and the artworks, even the latest version of the games are.
And we're going on to the last one in this block. My goodness.
Let's go.
So Matt, number 31, what's your last one for the first 10 in our top 40?
First crossover. And we're talking about Azul.
Yeah!
Azul is in
the same block as well.
In the same block, yes. Again, what more should we say about this game? It's modern classic.
Brilliant.
It's always I always love playing it, especially with people that you can play it with mom and dad.
Yeah.
I did explain to my mom, she doesn't play board game. Explained in 5 minutes, she started playing, she started winning straight away.
Kicking everyone's ass.
But at the same time, when you got more board gamers around the table, you can start seeing what the others are doing. Is trying to get the stuff from the market, not because you need it, but you know that you're gonna put someone else in a lot of trouble. It can be as deep as you want, depending on the people around the table. So a game that you manage to play with mom and with an experienced board gamers and still have fun, I think is a great game.
It's a tremendous game, mate. Yeah, I've already said everything I need to say about Azul. It's brilliant, mate. It's brilliant.
Let's go to the next one.
So my 31.
Yes.
Okay, the last one on the list.
Yeah, for this block,
and it is Arcs.
Okay.
It's brand new, and it's coming at 31. And I was like, trying to think about where this needs to go in my top 100, and does it go in there, and where roughly it goes, and it kind of falls around here. And I think we've had this conversation, Matt. It'll either go up or it will go down based on how much we're going to play it and what we feel about the rest of our plays, because we've had ups and downs with this game, and I think that everyone has. Like, it's a divisive, interesting, controversial in some ways, but definitely brilliant game that evokes strong emotions.
Yes, it's most of the time those emotions I hate and rage. We talked about it briefly, like literally just a few minutes ago. And when I would say like it did not make my list, spoiler alert, just because probably it would have been number 41. It's in my top 100 at the moment. It's just like I think I need to play more, but the more I play it, the more I hate it. But the more I hate it, the more I want to play. It's a weird game. Yes,
it's a weird love-hate cycle, and it's an unusual game, but it's a great game at the same time that combines trick-taking with space opera, with this kind of ships on a map, this invasion, this political piece, and then a great 3-arc story that you can play. Which is another fantastic thing that you can do, which completely bends the game in other ways. I'm dead keen to play more.
Yeah, we'll do. I'm sure we'll do.
Okay, and that was the end of this block. Let's take it to the outro.
Yeah.
So that was the first episode in me and Matt's first ever top 40 of all time series. And what did you think? What do you think of the games that we've picked? We'd love to know what you think in the comments below.
Actually, I want to know, can you guess what's going to be Wayne and my number 30?
There you go. There you go.
For the next
For the next episode, well, the next one is don't cheat. If it's already out, don't go watch and then come back. We need to comment now. But if you liked this video, then you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button.
Yay.
Check out the rest of our videos, and we're going to catch them again pretty soon.
Well, to the next block of this number
Top 40.
30 to 21.
Let's go.
Ciao.
What's the game reviews for you and me? What's the here's what you should play and see.